What you're about to see is Emily Strigl's brief interview with Robert Fleischman, the original singer of the Vinnie Vincent Invasion. This was recorded Saturday afternoon, January 20th, 2018, a few hours before Robert Fleischman joined Vinnie Vincent on stage for his first musical performance in decades. It seemed to be an impromptu thing where Robert just jumped up on stage and Vinnie and he did an acoustic version of Back on the Streets, the classic Vinnie Vincent song. And this was recorded before that historic moment happened. So here we go. Emily Strigl speaking with Robert Fleischman at the Kiss Expo in Atlanta, Georgia on January 20th, 2018.
There he is. I'm here with Robert Fleischman. And I have to ask you, last night, Robert reunited with Vinnie Vincent for the first time in how long?
I think 35 years.
This is insane. This was an amazing thing to see. Yeah. Tell me how it felt. What happened?
It was very emotional. It was. I was just so happy to see that he was okay, and that he's around, and it's just beautiful that he finally came out because so many people love him. And I love him too, and I've always rooted for him and seen him go through his ups and downs, but I'm glad to see that he's in the sunlight again.
He seemed to be in really, really good spirits.
Yeah.
And really happy the way he was received. Like, just seemed to be like just taken back by his, everyone's reaction.
Yeah. Well, I was very surprised that he was just so surprised to see me, and he was just so loving, and he was, big hugs and all that, and I whispered in his ear, I just said, I'm so glad that you're okay, and he just kind of got a teary eye,
I love to hear that, and he gave you so many props he did an interview with Eddie Trunk, and I haven't heard that interview yet, but I know he spoke about you. Right. And during the Q&A session that he did, or kind of meet and greet thing he did, he said that he wished that you'd never left. And he said that the second Vinnie Vincent Invasion album was almost, I don't know if the word he used was mistake, but did you hear that? And how do you feel about that?
It's nice kudos and all that, but it is what it is, and I really loved doing the first album. And the album, what attracted me to the first album was Vinnie's songwriting. He's an amazing songwriter, and then on top of it, he's just a madman on the guitar. So, it was a full spectrum thing, but the thing that attracted me was the songwriting, because I'm a songwriter, and I love good songs, and I don't like to put myself on anything unless it's something I really feel, and I really felt it, And Vinnie's got it,
He's got it. You've got it. I mean, let's talk about Journey. Like, what you did with Journey was amazing. Like, Wheel in the Sky. What was your role in writing that song?
Well, I wrote the melody and I wrote the lyrics, and I wrote it with Neil Sean, and it was like one of the first songs that we wrote together. I wrote Anytime with them. I wrote Winds of March, All For You, some other songs that never quite made it. I think there's some video on YouTube that has some other songs. But, when I joined Journey was a rock jazz fusion band. They did like 8-minute to 15-minute songs. And when I came into the situation, it was a real learning curve for them, and then it was really hard for me because here I'm dealing with like some of the most amazing guitar players, and musicians.
Neil Sean doesn't get enough credit, right?
Absolutely. He's like, and he's like fine wine. He gets better as the years go. But so it was like now everything's got to be in 4/4, and they're all pop songs, and no longer can you jam over these things. So it was a real sort of like, I kind of was like the architect for the new sound that carried on, and I'm glad for that. And they've done an amazing job. They've always included me in everything that is possible to be included. Like, I got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame with them. Obviously we got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So it's been a beautiful experience, and it's just part of my life. And Vinny's part of another chapter in my life, and Journey's another chapter, and then all my solo stuff. So I'm happy musically, and I thank God and thank the heavens.
And we thank the world. We thank God for you, because it's been amazing. And I'm going to hand you back to your line of people that have been trying to get your autograph all day. You've been received so beautifully here as well. It's really good to see. Well deserved.
Well, I'm very surprised. Seriously.
We love it.
I feel like Sally feels when they say, "Oh, they really like me."
Really like me. Well, we like you, Robert Fleischman. Thanks for coming on Talking Metal.
Thank you.